Hey y'all, welcome back to Just a Girl Talk. I am back again, y'all. I was literally just on and the internet shut off. It might be just the computer. The computer might be done with me. I think this computer is done with me, and that's okay. That is okay. But we are back. We are back. So hope all the lovely people join back on in. And we are discussing the love and support that we as women, Black women, oftentimes support 304 behavior, right? And there is a show called Listen to Black Women. And I literally, y'all, this was, as I stated before, I came across this panel on TikTok talking about this, and I was like, no way. No way. This is not real. But I've been talking about how we as women support 304 behavior more than I can imagine. I didn't even realize how bad it was until I got on the internet. So I started hearing these women talk. I started hearing these women expose their messed up mentalities. I didn't realize it was that bad. I didn't realize that when you talk about preserving your body, being modest, being classy, there's a fight to say, let us do what we want to do. We don't care. We want money. Ain't no shame in getting what you want. Use your body for what you get. Like all those things that we used to think was just like something to say. Like use your, what is it like? Make that money, girl, to make the money make you. It was kind of like just something that you thought people just said. No, they really believe it. They're really saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're really, this stuff is the reality of like how a lot of people are moving out here. Like honestly. So when I saw this conversation tonight, I was like, I gotta talk about it. Hey sis, I gotta talk about this because this is insanity. Insanity. And my problem with this is, y'all, I really hate the fact that when Black women get together, it's always conversations around sex. I hate it. I hate that that's the way that I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. Like I said before, I've never been in a friend group where we talked about our sex lives with each other. That's just never been. I just feel like it's something that you just don't talk about. I feel like a lady doesn't talk about her sex life. My opinion. I feel like even with anybody, without the comfort of her and her husband, I don't think that you just sit around and talk about, yeah, I did this last night, I did this last night, I did that. I don't think a lady does that. My personal opinion. But I want to go ahead and I'm gonna go back and play some of the podcasts before we get into nitty-gritty about them supporting 304 behavior, whole phase stuff. But I do want to say this too, that so many Black women share the same experience with learning about their bodies and sex all across the world, from not having the right information, not being told the right things, not being encouraged to save their bodies, kind of just being told that you're just being grown, don't have sex, but no one really said that and talked about it, how you don't feel comfortable talking to your mom about it. So this is a very, very common thing amongst Black young girls, where you're out here doing things that you shouldn't be doing. You don't have your mom to go to because you're too afraid. You feel like you can't talk to her. You're talking to your 16-year-old friend who don't know what she's doing either. And you're out here just making doing adult things with a child mentality, a child mindset. So y'all, please make sure y'all share the live out. I'm gonna go ahead and share this clip and we're gonna get into it. Yeah, let's get into it.
Now, Justy, you came up with a term. Zozo?
Yeah. Oh,
Zozo. Tell me what Zozo, with the Zozo.
Zozo is a penis.
Whoa.
It's a penis, but we say it in Creole.
Okay.
Like when I first started making content, I did talk a lot about like sex. But when I would talk about it, I would talk about either like past experiences or experiences from friends. And even then it was seen as, oh my God, like, why are you talking about this? I'm like, we're all getting angry. And so, yeah, in my culture, it was really horrible to say it. Like, it was horrible, like, as a Haitian girl to acknowledge that you have had sex. I started having sex at 19, and I didn't tell my mom. Like, she kept talking to me like I was a virgin. And I was like, you know, Mom, I had sex. What? I come from a very religious background.
Right.
And so I remember like I fell into a deep depression, and I went into a revival my friend was having at a Jamaican church. I'm like, you know, I'm going to hell. I'm dying. It's over for me.
Damn.
And he came to me and he said, Miss, God is telling me to tell you to forgive yourself. He's already forgiven you. I adopted a new outlook on it, but it still took me years to be like comfortable with sex.
I think that, like, especially with your Haitian background, I have a Southern American background, and it has a lot of shame attached to sex, especially for women. And like, and growing up in my household, there was 3 of us sisters and 3 brothers. And so it was never told to the boys to, you know, to treat women well or to be respectful. The conversations were given to us,
Of course.
to not be sluts, to not open our legs, to basically to not have sex at all.
Yeah.
So similar to y'all, I didn't start having sex until I was 20. And I basically wanted to do so because I felt, you know, I didn't feel pretty. I wanted to be wanted. And so I started having sex as a hoe. Like, I just, you know, just was out here in college and just spreading it wide and laying it low.
But most people do that, so
Listen,
don't feel bad.
well, no, I don't feel bad. It was great. Had a great time.
You see that? You see that? Most people do that. Don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. It was a great time. Continuing to push. Oh my God. Continuing to push the narrative of when you're 20 and you're young, be free. It feels good. It's a great time. That's the problem, right? That was a moment right there. That was a moment right there where I think Tori was going at the angle, maybe, don't beat yourself up, girl. We all been there, right? That could have been the angle. And that was opportunity to say, you know what? You're right. I learned from it. I thought it was the best time of my life. Like, a way to not make it like, oh my gosh. Oh my God. Like, it's literally, even the idea too, right? For us as girls, we know this. I think this is the reality, right? I do not steer away from that there are biases and double standards for girls and boys. And there will always be. And I would be a fool to let my daughter think that she can do what her brother does. And she should be able to do what he does to be equal, because they're not equal. They're not equal. They're not even nowhere. Even if they were the same age, if they were twins, it's different. It's very, very different. So I understand that it shouldn't be right to not teach your sons to be respectful, to respect women, all the things, but it's still a different conversation. It's very different. And I think the idea there's a lot of rebellious spirit for a lot of girls because you're not being told why you shouldn't have sex or why you should, like, it's not attached to marriage. I feel like a lot of young girls, Black girls, do not grow up being told why you don't have sex, why you shouldn't. It's just, you just don't do it because you're not grown. So you think, oh, when I feel like I'm grown, I'm gonna do it. Versus, again, it's preserving your body. You wait till you have a husband. Sex is meant for husband and wife. You know, like, that is where we make it clear. People who have sex is husband and wife. But the issue comes with that is you're listening to your mom have sex with somebody that's not her husband. You know what I'm saying? You heard her have sex with multiple women who are not her husband. So when she then tries to tell you that, she's telling you that but you're also hearing, you're seeing what you're seeing. You're hearing what you're hearing. It was very one-sided. Very one-sided, right? It's a very, very one-sided factor. And that is the unfortunate side of this. Very, very unfortunate. It's very interesting to hear a woman of your culture see that men and women are not the same. Understood the implications, if not understood. I absolutely understand it. And I've never tried to be where's my charger? I've never tried my daughter always touching my stuff, y'all. I don't even know where my charger. I've never tried to be the parent, or I never wanted to be the parent. Or let me be honest, I've never been the woman to want to try to say, well, boys do it. I've never been that woman. I've never been the girl who's going to say, well, boys do it. Well, the boys get to do it. I understand that it's not the same. I understand it's not the same. But I think, again, as I said, in this regard, so many young girls hear this stuff and they do it, and it's made to believe that it's such a great time. It's such a great time.
Wonderful. It's just so sad that women, especially Black women, in my experience, have this shame and this like barrier of religion.
This is truly my.
So not too much. This is a commercial break. I'm getting my YouTube Premium. Okay. Little commercial break. Okay. While we wait for the commercial to go by, let's pause there with the whole the religion barrier, right? Let's the religious barrier. That's even wild to say that. That's even wild to say that. That's very much wild. Very much wild to say that. Very wild. We just take religion out of everything. We take religion out of everything, which is the most, it's pure insanity. Pure insanity.
It's have this shame and this like barrier of religion when it comes to sex.
And the thing is that the religion factor takes the pleasure out of it.
Exactly.
Because it's like almost immediately I'm already
You're
thinking
guilty.
about
You gotta fall down
going
as
to
an
altar. Now I have to go repent. Now I have to go.
And in Europe, they're having a conversation so early. In America, most people have their first time in places like cars, whereas in Europe, most of the time it's in your house, and your mom is like, here's the protection. In America, if you like somebody has a condom, right, when you're younger, it's like, ew, why do you have a condom? Are you having sex? But in Europe, it's like, why don't you?
Like
you need to, you know. And so the culture is just different. The way we talk about it is surrounded in so much shame that we grow up being like, and it's not till we get in our 30s when we're like, actually, I gotta figure out what the fuck this is.
Can I add one last thing too? Have y'all moms ever talked to y'all pleasurefully about sex? I realized, I remember one time my mom was like, when you get married, you can live with your husband. We can all live together, because like in Haiti, it's so communal. You live on top of each other. And I was like, no, like what about when we have sex and I'm screaming? And she's like, why are you screaming during sex? Right. And I'm like, because I'm coming.
Yeah.
You said that to your mom?
Yes.
Oh, no, I still wouldn't say that.
I realized that coming was not a priority for my mother.
Yes.
And my mother had 4 kids.
And they came once.
But Tori, that makes me think about you, because you have a daughter.
Right.
So do you talk to, she's not having sex yet, as far as you know?
We are very open.
And
we talk about everything. I'm the mom that I get to the nitty gritty.
She ain't having no sex yet.
And but was that ever a difficulty for you? Because you didn't have that, right?
Well,
you said your mother.
My grandmother was a minister. 2 aunts are ministers. 3 uncles are ministers.
So
your house was the church.
Yeah.
That's why I moved far away from all of them to Los Angeles, because I was like, I don't like this. It feels like a cult in a sense. Yes, I used to sneak and do a lot of stuff because I didn't feel like I could talk to my mom.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So
Y'all, we as Black women love to compare. We're going to compare it to the Europeans. Taylor Swift get to do it. Why can't we do it? Why can't Taylor do it? Why can't Lori do it? We love to compare. And where does it get us? You're sitting on a podcast talking about how you talk to your mother and told her that. The reality of what I'm getting at, y'all, and where we are right now in our community is we want to strip religion from everything. There shouldn't be no God. There shouldn't be anything that you feel guilty about. You shouldn't feel convicted at all. Why can't I just have sex and not feel convicted? Why can't I just do what I want to do and not feel convicted? That's what they want us to do. You should not feel no shame for anything that you do. Nothing. 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 Because we pick and choose what we compare ourselves. When I talk about women wanting to be married, I mean requiring marriage and taking care of themselves and not going outside with bonnets and scarves, they say to me, you know what they say to me? You want to be like the white girls. You always trying to be like them white women. It's respectability politics. That's what they say to me. But when we talk about 3 or 4 behavior, giving your body up, it's okay to compare yourself to a white girl. It's okay to do that. It's okay to say, well, Taylor Swift does it. But if I tell you, put your clothes on, stop going outside in pajamas, y'all tell me that I'm trying to make y'all be white. I'm trying to please the white girls. So pick a side. Pick a side. We want to remove being accountable. We want to be out here to be able to be free. We love to be free. Free to do whatever we want to do with our bodies, with our mouths, whatever we want to do. We want to be free. And my biggest issue is, why does Black women have to have a show and they talk about this? Why do we come together as Black women and somehow it always goes back to sex and being able to be free? Where are the podcasts that tells you about saving your body? Many of us didn't have that conversation with our mothers. I said that before. We did not have the conversation with our mothers. We didn't. We did not. And I think that a lot of us didn't do a lot of us any good by not having those conversations. I think it very much was necessary, very much needed. And a lot of our mothers failed us in that area. That's a fact. That is a fact. Right? But why do we always come together in this way? And it has to be a way that we're glorifying sleeping around, being a hoe in college. And then we say, oh, it was a great time. It was phenomenal. Would you tell your daughter that? Go to college, be a hoe girl. You're going to have fun. You're going to have fun. Let's fast forward to the part that I really want to get into. I hope we don't get no commercial break, y'all. Let's go.
Or getting closer to each other.
Right.
But I love that woman because I feel this was outside. Okay.
That's the bit.
Moms are supposed to be in the house cooking and doing. She was outside. My mom was on Cops twice. This was outside. Okay.
No, she wasn't on Cops
swear to
twice.
God.
Not on Cops twice.
Let's go to Melton for real.
Right, yeah. Hey.
Yes. And she has, in 2019, she passed away, right? But before she did, I feel like we were mending or getting closer to each other.
Right.
But I love that woman because I feel like I am as old as I am because of her. I don't have that shame, and I feel so accepting of people because of that.
But it all makes sense though. Even like when I think about myself, my mother's an ordained minister. So when I sit here and listen to what everybody's saying, we all have that common ground where church was in our household. So maybe that's where our shame towards each other
Sure.
starts coming out.
Like, you can't shame people out of being sexual.
Right.
Like, that's just not, it's not gonna work.
The gym box.
Commercial break.
That's it, huh?
Commercial break.
I took care of that thing.
The thing.
What is called petty bills?
Do you think it's necessary to have a whole phase throughout your life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree on that.
I had been with this guy for 5 years, so I didn't really I wasn't really having sex with a lot of people. And so for one summer, I said, I'm going to do whatever I feel in the moment that I feel it. There was this time where I was at this bar having this meeting with this girl, and this bartender was just giving me the eyes and just kept giving me these blueberry mojitos or something. And the bar was kind of empty. So I was like, I'm going to go use the bathroom. And I'm like, there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. There was. So I was like, there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. And so he's like, oh, okay, I got you. And so
This is a good story, y'all.
And so he come to get me the toilet paper, and we end up in the freezer. In the freezer.
I'll cheers to that. Oh, I guess I never had a whole face then, because what in the...
I don't know. I'm gonna have sex in the freezer if I want to have sex in the freezer. Sometimes, you know what I mean. Now I could get down. I got a sex positive family. Okay, I come from a sex positive mother. I'm one of 7. She got all different daddies. Okay, Tommy, maybe it's crazy.
Oh,
period.
okay.
Now why your mama catch a straight line?
She know what it is.
I feel like it's totally opposite for me in the sense like I really do agree.
Period, right? I come from a sex positivity family. That means AKA a bunch of whores, a bunch of women who slept around, a bunch of 304s. That's what that says, y'all. Let me just make sure y'all know. Sex positivity family means I came from a bunch of 304s. And that makes me feel free. I'm free. I'm a 304. I could do whatever I want to do with my body. My mom had 7 kids, 7 baby daddies. She was free. She was liberated. They all agree you should have a whole phase. They all said, yes, you should have a whole phase. Absolutely. Absolutely have a whole phase. Once again, why do they get this type of show? Why? Why? Why do we always have to slip in sex and normalize fornication, right? Normalize not having to be married. Normalize saying forget what the laws, forget what God intended for us. Forget all that. Nobody got time for that. Because we're rebelling from the church, religion, whatever, your parents, the pastor, whatever you are running away from. Why? We make ourselves look so bad. And we don't care because they said ain't no shame. Ain't no shame in what I do. That's what women say. And we then teach this. Oh, excuse me. We are promoting this. What is sex? That's the new thing. Sex positivity. It's a sex positivity. Is that the new word, y'all? Sex positivity, aka whore.
That women should have a whole phase. Every time I've tried to have a whole phase, I always run into somebody with a very small penis.
Oh
every
my
time.
God, that's awful.
And it's just like I feel like that's
you a house, so move on.
Yeah, no, I can't. I remember last year, literally, I tried it back to back. I was like, okay, Lord. And mind you, I was down in Jamaica. You don't have no small penis in Jamaica.
Jesse, we want to know. Jesse, we want to know.
How small?
We want to know.
Yeah, how
He
small?
was too small.
And I had a whole phase later on in life because I got married super young, and so it's like it's kind of hard to hoe at 40. You know what I mean? Like it's a little harder to hoe.
I know a lot of hoes.
I'm not mad at
All the hoes is 40 and over.
Y'all hear this? Y'all make sure y'all let's break that down. She was a wife. She got married younger, right? Had her children. And for some reason, Many wives who come out of a marriage, divorce, feel like they missed out on something. They got to be a hoe. They got to be a hoe. She's like, I know plenty of hoes in their 40s. It ain't hard to be a hoe in your 40s. Y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? Like, do y'all hear this? It's not hard to be a hoe in your 40s because they know plenty of hoes in their 40s. Do not let her in. Close my door. Okay, close my door, please. There's plenty of hoes in their 40s. And it ain't hard to be a hoe. So let's break this down. Grandma 47. She's a hoe. Grandma 47. Right? You 20. No, let's go. You 15. You 15. Right? You 15. Mommy 30. Grandma 45. Grandma 45. So we got 15-year age gap. Teenage girl, her mama, and her grandma. 15. They all had each other. They was all had a baby, 15. Right? Right? 15. 15. So if grandmama a hoe, grandmom's a hoe. When I'm telling you, my grandchild, my daughter, don't do certain things, don't behave certain ways, don't be like me, but my grandmom is doing it, Mom. My grandmom doing it though. My grandmom on Instagram showing her butt. My grandmom on Instagram talking about how she's getting her money, using her body to get what she wants. She's my grandmom. My grandmom. So what do I do as a young girl? How do I handle that? How do I wrap my head around this? It's hard to. Because we got to know that kids are watching us and they're watching our behaviors. Not what we say. They want to see what we're doing. They want to see what you're saying matches what you're telling me to do. You can't tell me to do it if you're not doing it. Many kids going to hit you with that line. You ain't doing it though. Why I listen to you? You don't even do it. You're not even married.
It's just harder. Like the pickings is slimmer.
No, but I want to hear about your whole face.
I'm in the middle of it.
Yeah. Make some noise. We gotta support our sister.
Listen,
Come on now.
We gotta support our sister in her whole phase. Y'all. We gotta support our sister in her whole phase. But they just clapped. They just clapped, y'all. They clapped. But y'all say black women don't support this stuff. I told y'all. This is the difference between black women and black men. If a black man was sitting on a panel with another black man talking about how he sold drugs, right? The other black man would not be sitting there clapping it up for him and telling him to do the same thing. He wouldn't. They would not be on there. They would be telling him, no, don't do that. I did it. It ain't work for me. Even if I'm doing it now, don't be like me. They're not going to be like, yeah, clap it up. You're selling drugs. Oh my gosh. Yay. We love it. They're not going to do that. Men ain't going to do that. They're not going to sit there and clap it up for you to do what I know ain't going to work. Or I know it's not good for you. Support our sisters. Support our sisters is what she said. We got to support our sisters. This is what we support, y'all. This is what we support. This right here. We support this, y'all. And the brothers in the comments saying this would be supposed to marry. I don't even know. She in her whole phase. Proud.
I love a good hoe phase. I'm a believer of after a breakup hoe phase.
Nice.
Yeah, especially that. That was my last one before this one. Which was really great. A Jamaica hoe phase, which was
Wait. Did y'all see they face it? She said, that's good. She said, Jessie Wu said, amen. You said amen to a whole phase? She said, that's good. Amen.
It's great. I booked a solo trip, but at one point I had gone and got a massage and I came back to the bar and then I turn around and there's this like Winston from the house. Like muscular, chocolate, white teeth, everything was working. And I wasted literally no time. From the time that we met, it was until the time I was walking with him back to my room, it was maybe 15 minutes.
Wow,
that to me is hope. That to me says hope.
It's funny we talk about this because you said something on your page, Jerry, that was like you want to be the gigolo. Don't let me miss.
I remember that.
The gigolo of helping women learn the pleasure.
So
is that what it is?
Nice that you mentioned that. There's a lot of women who have not experienced
Hold
pleasure.
up.
Right?
Hold up. Let's pop this on. First, I want to just thank everybody. I want to thank the super chats. I want to pop this one up on here. Someone said boycott. As I always say, women created red pill. I hear you. Thank you for the super sticker. But boy, oh boy. Okay. From you studying things like this, is there a difference between the way men think and the way women think? If so, can you explain the differences and the strengths and weaknesses of different solar possesses? So, I mean, we know that people tend to say that men are more logical, women are not, right? We are more emotional. And you can see from this conversation, right? They're pure, it's no logic. There's none. Women are thinking this is, let me break this down too, though. You know how we talk about how men they what is the word? Like they're always thinking with their bodies, with their you know what's. You know how they say that about men? Men think what they think with that part of their body. They don't think of with their brain a lot of times. This right here shows that they're thinking purely with their bodies and with their emotions. That's what they're thinking, right? And I think this just shows us, to me, this shows me how much women cannot try to crucify men for wanting to, quote unquote, hump everything that they see walking, right? Because women are the same way. If not, women might want it more than men. That's what I'm thinking. Women might want it more than men, and the roles have reversed, where women are now the new men, and they're ready to just do whatever they want to do. I think why men and women work so well together, why it was meant for men and women to be together, because men have the more logical side. So if you know that I'm going to be thinking more from an emotional state, you are there to help me think of it in a more logical, realistic way. Take my feelings out of it. Take my, even if she had a male friend there, say you had a male friend right with you in Jamaica, and he saw that you was about to go home with his man in 15 minutes, he was able to probably tell you, girl, think about it. Logically, think about what the consequences could be. He might be able to tell you to think about it more logically. Stop being so emotional. Stop being so, whatever. That is the beauty and the strengths of having men and women, because we can, our skill sets and our minds, the logic and the emotional, they work together well to help one another, right? The weakness comes where we're both thinking super emotional. We're not thinking, we're just all in our feelings. That's where the weakness comes. That's where the weakness comes. Male straight friend. Yes, a male straight friend. A male straight friend. Yes. A male straight friend. Because we know, like I said, I think men don't try to make what they do right. Men are able to say, I know it was wrong. We try to make stuff that we know wrong right. We try to make things that we know is wrong right. And that's a problem with us as women. Where men will own, they got to be like, I was tripping, bro. I was tripping. Yeah, I was out of line. They'll say that to themselves and to their friends. Us, we don't. We don't do that. We don't do that, y'all. We're gonna find a way to try to make it right. We're gonna try to find a way to just. This woman says she went back to the room with him after 15 minutes of seeing him. 15 minutes. Let's finish up.
It's something about giving women the power to know, hey, this is not actually what I like. And also the language to say, actually, if you go down and you go this way, that's going to get me right where I'm going. But if you never are with a person that you're comfortable enough exploring that, or even have had the chance to have somebody open the conversation up, you're not going to know that. Yep. And so let me come suck your tell you what's working.
So every woman though? Because you said every woman.
I don't want to.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? What is the world coming to? Did y'all just hear that? Oh my God. Oh my God. Did y'all hear what I just heard? Oh my God. Are we really creating lesbians? Is there an agenda to just bring everybody to the lesbian train? She said, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Where's the sign-up sheet for that?
And I'm like, is the whole phase over, or are we in it?
No. I am currently not in my whole phase. I am currently not.
No, but I'm saying, can we sign up for the service?
With a suck.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the service that I wanted to provide, and not just with me and
you
other
mean you
people.
just gonna have people that you pay to go and do it, and they collect.
Yeah,
I'm about to say your jaw gonna hurt.
So you was like,
I see a future here.
You know what I mean? If we think about how we learned about sex, like who had a conversation with you about sex? Who told you how to have sex? Who told you how to have sex? Not just safe sex, but pleasurable sex.
Yeah.
Not my mama.
I want to wrap this up and just say thank y'all, everybody, for being so open.
This our Black sisters. This is our Black sisters, our Black queens. Our Black queens. I'm going to teach. I'm going to hire people. I'm very embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed. I'm disgusted. I'm heartbroken. These women clapped, amened, praised whole phase. Support your sister throughout her whole phase. This is why the 304 phase won't die, because Black women support it. I believe they support it way more than men. They do this, they clap it up, they cheers it up, they had their drinks, and oh my God, this woman says she was going to hire people to go. Oh my goodness. You like a madam. You're like a madam. You're really a madam. You're like a madam that's sending people. I'm very embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed. I'm very disgusted. Yo, all I can honestly say is, we gotta pray for our children. That's what I'm gonna say. You gotta pray for your children. Pray, keep them close to God. Make sure that they know who God is. Make sure they understand why they do what they do, why they want to follow and serve God. Make sure, because this right here, and these are the platforms that get big and they grow, and they're growing because we're talking about this type of stuff. Being a hoe, doing what I want to do, being free, wanting to get my rocks off, and all of this stuff. And like you said in the comments, sis, you're supposed to learn this stuff with your husband. With your husband. You ain't supposed to be out here just everybody and anybody. And she said, I did it back to back and I still got the same small oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm stressed out, y'all. This is stressful. The divestors, and yes. Y'all, make sure y'all share this live out once this is over. Please share it out, because I need other women. This is wild. It is beyond me. It's so disappointing. It's beyond disappointing. But when we fight tooth and nails, but when somebody like myself is calling out our behaviors as Black women, I don't want to see y'all in the comments fighting, because we see it. She said, I know plenty of hoes in their 40s, plenty. And when I said that these older women are influencing these girls the younger girls in a negative way, they ate me up. But she just said, I know plenty of hoes in their 40s, plenty. Plenty. So then, am I lying? Am I lying? I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Y'all, I'm gonna go, because I gotta process this. I gotta process this. This was a lot. And I didn't watch this before. I didn't watch this. So this is real life first. Like, did I just hear, like, this is real life on spot reaction. I'm really, all right, y'all. We're gonna wrap this up. Okay, somebody said, I want you to tell me what is wrong with the whole picture. You have to explain it to a child. If I had to explain this to a child, what I would say to my daughter would be, ask yourself, what would you say if this was your friend? If your friend was saying that she did this, she did that, because I want her to be able to tell me, what does she think about it first? What does she think about it? What do you think about this? Because you know what happens is, most of these kids, I've done it before, they are quick to call somebody else a hoe. Miss, she acting like a hoe. She doing this. And I'll say to them, well, tell me about what you just did. Do you think that was hoe-ish behavior? And they'll be like, I mean, I guess they don't compute that it's the same thing, because it's maybe a little bit more extreme. So if I was saying this to a child, I want them to know that it doesn't make you look good. It makes you look tasteless, classless. How people will perceive you, it will carry on. If you do this, you got to be prepared for what comes with it. What comes with it? Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared to be called out your name? Are you prepared for this to carry on with you for the rest of your life? Are you prepared for that? I want her to be able to tell me what she thinks about it. What do you think about it? So I can help you understand the way that you might be thinking about it is all the way wrong. It's all the way wrong. Because kids will try to make sense of stuff that don't make sense. We know that. They will. And their go-to is when the boys do it, they'll try to make sense of it. So she might see it as this whole being free. Well, it is my body, but I want you to know how precious your body is. Would you just let your body be used like a piece of meat? Would you want people to just be stabbing at it and picking at it? Would you want somebody to come in your bedroom and take something from you without asking? That's what people start using your body as something free to just use. Do you like that when people take your stuff from you? No. So would you like somebody to just take your virginity from you and take your femininity from you? No. No. So I would want my child or a child to understand the consequences. The psychological, y'all, I want you to hear me and hear me good. This is society influence. Your society has seeped into your mind that this is okay. That's all you're hearing. These are learned behaviors. Learned behaviors. Very much learned behaviors. You just heard the woman say that my mom had 7 baby daddies, 7 kids. She was outside. I learned this. I was basically taught this without being taught it. So you have this mindset based on what you're being exposed to. And how it affects men when dealing with a woman like this is going to be very hard to get her to understand how you as a man view women. So how you view protecting your woman, how you view telling her how to protect her might be, babe, that's too much to wear outside. If she doesn't view it, if she views it as it's my body, I could do whatever I want, you're going to have a hard time dating a woman like that, being with a woman like that. Men will. Men will have a hard time dealing with a woman who thinks that she can do whatever her want with her body. You will not be able to control her. Do you think men in general think that this behavior coming from the women on the panel is normal or right? I think that they think it is the norm. It has become the norm. Is it normal? No, but it's the norm. It's the norm. It is very much the norm in today's society that they're not surprised. This is what all the women say. This is what they all say. This is what they all cheer on. This is the norm. It's not right. It is not normal, but it is the norm. It has become the norm. And that's the sad reality, that when men and women try to come together, I'm over here saying I could do whatever I want to do. He's over here saying I want a woman who's more modest and who respects herself. And then how do we come together when all the women are over here and you're over here? They're not trying to come closer to where you are. It's so we just got to be mindful, y'all. This stuff is our young girls, baby. We got to wrap our hands so tight around them. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for all the love tapping in tonight. Had some technical difficulties earlier, so thank y'all for being here. Thank you again. Thank you, sis, for the super chat. This is the hood has felt. Yes, has felt. This is pure failure right here. This is pure failure. Pure failure. Pure. This was the. Oh my God. We got to do better. We have to do better, y'all. We have to do better. So have a good night, y'all. I appreciate y'all for being here tonight. Again, if you missed the conversation, go back and watch the full live and hear this, because y'all might have y'all jaw gonna drop tonight when you go back and watch this. Because I'm just like, My little ears I couldn't even believe what I was hearing. That was a bit much for my ears. And I'm a 36-year-old woman, and I'm like, I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all, and I look forward to talking to y'all, God willing, tomorrow for another Girl Talk conversation. So everybody have a good night. Be safe and stay warm in this cold, cold, cold weather. Bye.